We're back.
Is it Monday already?
It is Monday already. It is Monday still.
Yeah.
I have
Huh.
been here for 12 and a half hours already.
You're working those
Working my
about working
half
those
days,
extra hours.
the half days, half day Mondays. 12 hours is a half day. And yes, today, Theron, as he said, is Wesley's birthday.
I decided to still do the stream. Why not?
Yep. He said he's going to do 1 hour stream and then he's going to drink bourbon.
Well, I already got it.
You already got your bourbon.
It's an old
Birthday
fashioned.
bourbon. I bought pre-made old fashioned mix or pre-made old fashions. What one is that?
This is a Treaty Oak. I think it's a local thing. That that particular one. I do know they make. Was it like Bullet? I think makes one. I think they're a nationwide.
Yeah,
Um,
so the bullet one, in my opinion, was not that good. Um, the Knob Creek one was a little better, but St. Elmo's is where it's at.
okay. So look,
Yeah.
it's feeling a little splurgy. So
Yeah. I will probably have one of those when I get home too.
um, Harley, that was going on right after I said it. That was playing in my head instantly. I was like, all right,
Yep.
their marketing's on point. If it plays
Nationwide is on
automatically
your
in your
side.
head.
Yeah. So anyway, yep. Everybody's telling Wesley happy birthday, which is
I
cool.
appreciate it, guys.
Um, we can jump right into. I'm gonna jump on the website and turn that page on if you want to start talking about that.
Yeah. So this has been kind of a thing in the making. Because as soon as like Shapeways kind of went away or Air 404 or whatever, um, this was going to be an issue for some of our like braces and stuff, and that a lot of that kind of stemmed onto me pre-purchasing what I think is going to be popular, what are people going to buy. So that's when I kind of talked with you and brainstormed, hey, what if we just had some of these parts open file? You can just purchase the file. Um, and it was doable. So thanks to Brett for setting it all up on the site. And I went through, I'd, originally, this is how this project starts. Just upload the file, right? No, because the laser sintering stuff tends to shrink. So I kind of had to revisit all these files, and then I ended up making new mounts. Um, so yeah, now we got files that we're gonna sell to you. You know, don't be a scumbag with them, please. But
Yeah. So yeah, all the files. So there's five. One, two, three, four, five. There's five different sliders. We're gonna start with some sliders.
they're
So there's
hard
five.
body mounts.
Yeah, hard body mount sliders. Well, the high low sliders are just sliders.
Yeah,
Um, and then there's three different body mount sliders for the C1 Pro, and one for the ATL Pro V2. Um, so we're going to start with the sliders. We will continue to add other things as they come up and come along. We could probably do the high-low front accessory tray.
possibly. Yes. I
Oh,
also
be right
so I
back.
was gonna kind of bounce this off you. I think as people so all the body mounts are Toyota, because
Yeah.
that's what I run. So I have the exact dimensions, so I can make something that's gonna fit perfect. Um,
Yeah.
I think I'll probably be open to other bodies. I'll certainly be open to it. But I just need kind of particular specs. So if you have a caliper on hand and you want a body, like one of our team drivers has like the K5 Blazer. I don't know, nobody local has that body, so I kind of need one on hand, or pretty like I need to know like what links you run, because basically I gotta match that front
Wheel arch.
wheel arch, and then from there I can place everything else on the chassis. But that's the
Yeah.
most important thing. But I'd be open to creating more files to purchase. I don't think we're like asking the moon for them either.
No,
But
they're not free. It's $10.
yeah. But I will say, so I was gonna design. This is gonna double time. So I was gonna clone each slider, have a left and right, and tree it together, like what I did on Shapeways. But Brett using his noggin, he's like, just give one side, because you can just, at least on the Bamboo Studio, you can clone.
Yeah,
On
it
the
just
wood
mirror.
ones.
You got to mirror it. Yeah.
Yeah, clone and then mirror it on like the x-axis, and you'll have a left and right. So
Yeah. Yep. So if you do purchase the 3D files, it will only have one slider. You will have to mirror the slider, which
Um,
any slicing
mirror.
software can do it. It's not difficult.
yeah.
And then we talked about the Sever last week, and so when we release that, it will come with its own sticker sheet. So I've got the sticker sheets drawn up and done. This will,
Pretty sick.
also it'll be the header tag on the chassis instead of our standard header tag. This will be what you'll receive instead. So the two little smiley faces are stickers. This big center one is a sticker, and then each one of these is individually cut on the backside as well. And I try my damnedest to not get any pattern or anything around the outside of the sticker. So try to keep them as round as possible and as close to my edges as possible. The first batch, I didn't do such a good job of that on like this big one. You can kind of see on the edge over here.
Like crap, dude.
You can see some little, yeah, you can see some little black dots on there. That's from the background pattern. So
I wonder how many people would have been like, "Hey, Brett, this is trash. Can't
Right.
believe you put this. Who's your QC department?"
yeah,
Nah, they look good, dude. I like that.
yeah.
Let's see.
So what does someone do if they don't have a printer? So Wesley and I have discussed doing a print it for me type thing, where we would print them in house here. If you don't have a printer, chances are you know someone who does. That's fine. We don't have a problem with you having a buddy print them or whatever. We just don't want people reselling them, is what it is.
Yeah, I already anticipated, like, I would assume, like, depends on like what you're going for, but I think like I would like, especially with these high-low sliders, for instance, like this is a 4-wall but 15% infill, weighs like nothing.
Yeah.
For those weight conscious people, I could see people playing around with that. So you're gonna be printing off, like you're gonna kind of like maybe see what you can get away with, I guess. So
Yeah.
also just full heads up, if you ever did get like the nice nylon center, you'll notice the ATL slider and the high-low slider, they're just flat edged. I did have an indention for like maybe for sliding your transmission over, but I did get rid of that just so it's easy to place on the print bed. You don't have weird supports or anything. I've been getting just like perfect prints with that. So I did print some as they were, but the supports, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like
I get picky about
Stress
that
with
stuff
that.
too.
Yeah.
I used to do that too, but got too many emails. I give both now. I hope people are not ridiculous enough to where we have to modify the files to have both sides. Like, it's really not that difficult.
I think we have like smart customers. And
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, I guess worst case, we could potentially do like I got the TV behind me. We could just maybe do a tutorial if somebody needs. I don't know. This is our
yeah.
first have at it, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Have an add-on in the store. It would be if we do the print it for me. Basically, it would be in a drop down on the product page. So you would just select print it for me, and it would generate a regular a regular sale, not a digital download on the backside.
The I did ship. So we have a couple more of these like these modified C1 Pros. The latest kit that I did ship, it took me an extra day, but I think I made it worth it because it took me an extra day because I printed up some sliders I went ahead and tossed in there. So little bonus. I'll probably
Yeah,
do that
that,
for the rest of the kits. I think we have like 3 of these kits left. I'll throw in some sliders. I'll print them up. I got filament.
yeah. How about a reprint royalty of some kind for area local guys? Um, I mean, I would just prefer that each person bought the file. I mean, it's $10, so and then you have the file forever. You can print as many as you want. You know what I mean? If you break one or damage it in any way, you just print another one. It's not like it's a one-time use file. So
Yeah, save
it's
it.
kind of like the Harley Designs build along stuff. I mean, realistically, somebody could distribute those files. It's just kind of a Scout's honor thing to not do that. Um, Thankfully, Josh trusts me enough to have the files for this stuff and handle the international customers. Um, and really, it's just an honor system and a trust thing to where he knows that I'm not distributing that stuff to people that haven't paid for the rest of the stuff. So, can you list guys in an area where it could be printed? Man, that's I would have to I would have to talk to like Night Customs and see how he has set up this network of stuff. I mean,
Yeah. So
I we're
he has a
I,
little,
that's way more complicated.
he has a
Um,
little bit more experience than we do with this.
yeah, that's way beyond what we plan to do here with this. So
Yeah, and
uh,
if I mean, so also like these are not our like these are current production frames, but they're not like someone was pointing out on our page like this overhung like the front like of the chassis. That wasn't like perfect, but
yeah,
this file I think is like 2 or 3 years old. Like this
yeah,
wasn't like I just made that, but these aren't
yeah,
like our latest and greatest. These are files we had for sale previously. So we're just getting our toes in the water, seeing how this goes. Hopefully, you know, I don't see why it would be a mistake, which is why we're putting them on for
yeah,
sale to the public.
yeah. So like Checker just stated, if you don't have a printer and you need this stuff printed, chances are you're in a local Facebook group with people local to
Yes.
you. Just post up in your local group and ask if anybody locally has a printer that would be willing to print them for you. Like even if they charge you money for them, a little bit of money for them, that's fine. I just don't want people manufacturing and selling them, as a retail thing. You know what I mean? Just and if it happens, it happens, and it is what it is. We'll just take them back off.
Yeah. I mean, so like really nothing we're selling is like groundbreaking or anything. So
No.
hey, if you see some of these billet made out of billet aluminum on Amazon in 6 months, hey, I might. That's kind of cool. Forget it, dude. Whatever, man. It ain't gonna
Yeah.
slide over rocks that good. I don't know how you would. I don't know. People have malicious intent all the time. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But this should take some of the like emails and messages we get daily. This should alleviate that. At
Yeah.
least that's the hope, I guess.
That is the hope. Um, so I made this is completely off topic, totally different topic. Well, we did talk a little bit about chassis braces, but so some of the kits and stuff that we've sold, we've offered these little aluminum standoff braces, right? They come with them, and we did sell them for a little bit of time. But in the last year, In the Works RC was for sale, right? And it sold, and nobody knew who bought it. There were rumors going around as to who bought it and whatever here and there. So I went ahead and made a purchase on In the Works RC's website for some purple 67 millimeter chassis spacers to see where my money went and where these came from. And the answer is NSDRC. That is who the invoice came from, and that is where they shipped from, is NSDRC. So there you have it. I can show you the invoice if you'd like, if you don't believe me. But I made a purchase myself, and they're right here. It's NSDRC.
I wonder why they haven't announced that. So
Because he doesn't announce who he is with NSDRC either.
So I try not to like get into that because I know there is like dramas, like servo stuff. I don't know. There's always I don't know what it is with servo people. There's always drama.
Yeah.
I just keep scrolling, dude. I don't need that. But I don't know. If you bought a company like that, it's cool. If you have to hide it, that's kind of a weird.
Yeah.
I'm already suspicious.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone see these low-profile portals? I'm assuming OT6 has on pre-order.
Is that a Ed, Ed and Eddie reference? I believe.
So Todd's referring to the OT6 axles that they announced for pre-order. So there's the strange thing about it is you can switch the axles between straight axle and portal axle, but the gear reduction in the portal box is 1-to-1. The intention there is to keep the portal box as small as possible, which, okay, I get it, but portal reduction is really nice. And if you're switching between a portal axle and a straight axle, how often are you going to do that? Like, how often are you really going to switch?
I haven't seen. Is it a 2 or 3 gear portal?
2.
Oh, so you're reversing your outputs.
You're just reversing reversing the rotation of the output shaft.
Unitary, putting.
Yeah, I think that if you decide to run those portal axles, my personal opinion is I would want to run underdrive in the ring and pinion, I guess. I will say that OT6 has been working on those axles for years. Do you remember when Jason had the prototype axle at Crawlapalooza? Yeah. Well, it's not the same axle. It is revisions of that axle, though. Where I hope that they revised panhard mounting, if they even have that as an option anymore on the axle. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the axles, So, but regardless, if they did not change the location of the panhard mount on the axle, it's in a funky spot.
What's the main ring gear? I'm assuming it's an axial
It's
base
I think it's an AR-44 based,
Air 44. What is that? Oh, sorry.
right?
20. Sorry, I had to rewind to 20. Was that 2016, 17?
Yeah, 2014. Usually, when you do shady things, you don't want people to know. That's kind of exactly why they haven't. I don't think have announced who they are with In the Works. In the Works didn't have the best name to begin with, and then, well, you know,
Hey, did that ship? When did you put that order in, though?
a long time ago.
Oh, my I had a local buddy of mine reach out and said he ordered from Hardcore 2.5 months ago, I think. And there's been a label or a label printed up for 3 weeks now.
Well, so Lance does this weird thing, and he does, and Super Shafty Key City Hobby does the same thing where they'll mark the order shipped and print the label like immediately, which I don't like doing because then it pulls it out of your queue on the website. You have to keep track of it,
Yeah.
and it gives people a false sense of hope that their order shipped. It's
Yeah,
even worse with pre-orders because Super Shafty used to do that a lot with pre-orders. They'd say, they're going to ship in 3 weeks. So you place your order, and then 2 days later, you get a shipping notification. You're like, oh shit, that's coming already, and then it doesn't do anything for a couple weeks. So, but anyway, I placed that order on 11/15.
Well, I mean, that's still not too bad.
Minutes a month,
Yeah.
almost.
Dude, I felt guilty about postponing that C1 kit an extra day. Dang, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So 3.5 weeks. Why not just buy the portal axle bolt-ons? I had a set, and they adapt onto AR-44s. Well, I think it's because he wanted to try to keep the portal boxes as small as he can.
So I'm gonna be dummy because I haven't seen. Is it just the C hub attachment for portal boxes?
Yeah.
That's not gonna work.
Well, you replace the C hub, but yeah.
Yeah.
So the
I've
straight
just
axle, the
been
straight
there,
axle
done that.
has a big spread on the kingpins. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's a bolt-on C hub axle, dude. I'm just so over that stuff. I don't buy that crap anymore.
No, it's not a bolt-on. I don't think it's a bolt-on C hub.
Okay. I'm gonna be stressing.
None of the information is on their fucking website. You have to watch the YouTube video. Oh, yeah, you have to watch a YouTube video. None of it's on the
Okay.
website. So, whatever.
Yeah, I don't do. That's why I didn't buy the Axial Pro. I'm not interested in that 7-piece axle housing.
Yeah.
I just run F10 plastics. The caster is mint. Nothing broke. I haven't broken one of those housings ever. And I send
Me
it.
either. Yeah. I have a set of hardcore links. One had bad threads and never got it replaced. That's not the first time I've heard that. Got in the works steering links with my shafty axles, and they were absolutely wrong. That's in the works for you. When are we getting brazen links? Soon enough. I mean, it's just a matter of I still have to figure out the long parts. That's anything longer than the standard throw on my machine is throwing me for a loop. So
what I was gonna tell you is add 3 to 5 millimeter to that measurement I gave you to be perfect.
I don't think you gave me a measurement.
Okay, I think I texted it.
Did you?
This was
I don't know.
back when we were talking about links, so that's gonna be a minute. You're gonna
Well,
be,
you told me on the phone the other day you were going to remeasure everything.
and then I got down this rabbit hole.
Yeah. Just got here. What did I miss? We released some 3D files on the website under the components tab. If you go click on components, scroll down to 3D files. That stuff's there. And then we talked shit about In the Works RC.
I don't know about we. I don't.
Well, the royal we,
As a collective. As a collective.
yeah, as a collective. Hopefully everyone that's purchased cables from me has had no issues. I haven't heard anything, but I'm also not really in that world very often. You know, hopefully if anybody did have an issue, they would reach out.
$1 Me and
Me and chat, yeah. Yeah, so anyway, what is it in squares? What's the link measurement in squares? Anyway, yeah, it's the back to the link thing. It's just a matter of me having to learn a new machine. It's coming along, but no, as long as it's faster than this big old fucker behind me, because I don't know how many of you in the chat have been around that long, but this machine here kicked my ass. Mostly being able to use Fusion 360 with an older machine like this, the post processor to convert the toolpath to the G code and then have it be proper and get it into the machine. I'm not a machinist for one, so the setup of the machine took me a minute to figure out. I'm also not a I'm not a computer wizard, so figuring out the post processor, trying to learn all that stuff too, really just it basically took me a year between it landing on the floor, getting it wired, getting 3-phase pulled to the shop, doing all the crap, and then being able to program a functioning part. It was about a year. Do you have a sub spindle with pick-off in the Swiss? I do, but still, the throw of the machine is not very long. It's like 140 millimeters or something like that. So
that's well above average.
Yeah, it's well above average. Yeah. So basically, with the sub spindle, I will have to eject the part through one of the holes where a sub spindle tool would go. So, like, for people who aren't familiar with these machines, the part comes through the headstock, and you have tools on the front that machine the front of the part. Then there's another spindle on the backside. You can grab the part, pull it out, and then there's other places for tools to machine the backside of that part. I will have to eject through an empty tool hole somehow. And I'll have to figure out the ejector length to do that effectively and reliably. However, doing so will eject them into a place where I can shoot them onto some sort of a conveyor or a catch basket or something, which is nice. But the problem that I have is that just the throw of the machine's too small, and I have to release the main chuck, retract the spindle, re-chuck it, and go. But the machine wants to see there's like a material grabber that I don't have that is like in between the main spindle and the guide bushing. So it wants you to clamp the material before you retract the spindle. And it has to see that before it will do what it's supposed to do. So I have to figure out how to trick it into thinking that it's done that. Just learning, figuring shit out.
Yeah.
Brett used to have flowing locks. Now he wears a hat because the machine made him pull his hair out. Y'all don't want me to take this hat off, I promise. Just curious, what is your machining or engineering background or schooling? None.
We got a master's in getting food on the table.
None. So my machining, the entirety of my machining background was I was watching YouTube at work, watching a YouTube channel, NYC CNC, and he had a Tormach mill. And then with Wesley and I meeting and starting talking, wanting to machine chassis out of G10 and carbon, I bought a CNC router and had to learn that, which that wasn't that difficult. And then one day I just decided I wanted to buy a mill. So, but I had watched enough NYC CNC that I was pretty confident that I could figure out the mill. And I followed a bunch of Fusion tutorials for like 3 weeks leading up to me actually making a purchase. So that when that machine landed, I assembled everything and was making parts within 24 hours. But this big lathe behind me, that one kicked my royal ass. And then the Swiss isn't. I don't want to say it's kicking my ass because I think I've got my head wrapped around what I have to do. I just haven't been able to do it yet. My brain can see the path. I just have to find the path.
Yes.
We also have a long parts ejector that pushes parts out of the back of the subspindle. So I can't do that because the enclosure, the lid for the enclosure, is right at the back side of the subspindle, and the subspindle ejector is on the back side of the subspindle. So I would have to remove the ejector and just push parts out the back side of the spindle. But then it would have to have a hole in the enclosure, and they would come out the back side of the machine.
Whole saw.
Yeah. So basically, you cut a series of links on one end, then resend the machine. No, you don't. You don't have to unchuck them or anything. So, I can't really show. I'm not on my. I don't have my phone. I'm not on my phone. I'm on my Insta360 cam. It does everything without removing the part from the machine. When it ejects a part, it's a finished part. I could do it that way, but it's a bunch of screwing around.
Jason Bell wants to join us.
Yeah, I must have. So are you going to supply links with new kits, or just list the size so people can buy, make, and bend our own? Probably both. I think obviously we're going to get with Lance and get Lance the proper measurements. And I plan to get this stuff figured out too. So there will be two options for kits, but we can also just list the lengths. I don't have a problem with that. Do you have a problem with that?
No, because they're, other than the rear lower length, they're the same as the high low.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only length that's changing in length is the rear lower. I could get I don't have the rear lowers handy. I could get a length of where they're at right now versus what Lance already has, but
Yeah.
well, we'll get on.
Yes, Bell is in here. How's it going, buddy?
Is it getting cold over there? Dude, it's 81 today. It's been like 40 for like the past week.
It's 40 something today, but it was 18. It's supposed to be 18 on Thursday.
Yuck.
sounded like you couldn't complete the process in one swoop, but you actually can. I was confused. Yeah. So, and in reality, I can do everything without the sub spindle. Also, it's not as good, and it's not recommended. But like, so here's an example of a front, upper, high, low link with no threads on it. So the way like this machine behind me works, the part is chucked in the vise in the chuck, and it just spins. Then the tools come to the part in every axis. It just spins. The tool just spins. In the Swiss, the tools are all right where the face of the part is. So you actually advance the link while it spins, and then the tools just come in in this axis and your x-axis. So to make a long part, you would have to machine the front of the link. It pushes it out, and then unclamp, push it, unclamp, push it to get to the backside, and then you do your backside threading, and then eject the part, which is 182 to 184 millimeters long. Yeah, that's like 40 millimeters longer than what my machine is theoretically capable of doing. So there has to be some sort of push-pull. I don't know. Maybe I'll try programming the sub spindle to advance, grab, release the main, pull. I'll see if I can trick it and pull with the sub, but I don't know if it'll let me unclamp the main. I may just have to manually do it. It's worth trying to figure out. But anyway, this is a front, upper, high, low link with no threads. I made one with no threads to make sure that the lengths were correct, which it seems to be, and then I added the threading to it. Doing the main coding to do this only takes a couple of minutes. It takes longer to type it in than it does to math it, because my machine is older than computers. It's not older. It's not older than computers, clearly, but it's.
Make sure that decimal place is in the right area.
Yeah. It's before floppy disks, so, well, it's not, but it's before floppy disks were on CNC machines. But this is a 130 millimeter link here. That I've got a double bend in. I made that on there. Anyway.
I think I kind of teased it on the fan page, but I was working on something else last week. And I got it to where I am happy with this. And it is the Sever Leafer. Oh, that's not the official name. Don't quote me on it. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to figure out. So I didn't know if I was going to be able to get leaves on the front end of this, but I think with the clearances we have with the smaller transmissions we're intending for this platform to be running, I think it's going to be fine. But yeah.
And it's a reversed shackle reversal in the front, like everybody wants, even though...
Yeah, everyone wants it. The very first version I drew up was the sliding, with the perch was in the back, and I was like, I already know people's going to say it, so I went ahead and did it. But given the tight work area up here, there's no wheelbase adjustment in the front. I just lengthened the rear. So right now, as this sits, see if I get it in frame. As this sits, this should be 12.8, which is good, I believe, for the extra cab. And then if you slide this all the way up, it's about 12 inch. So Should be a good all rounder. Not on this 3D printed prototype one, but the final one I have the carrier bearing bolt pattern in there too. Sounds like that's kind of a silly thing not to have. But yeah, so you get all the advantages of the forward skid and the belly clearance advantage that like our C1 Pro has. So that's what kind of makes all this platform kind of something special. The like shock tuning hoops are kind of, I mean, I guess it still makes a difference. Given your shocks just have oil in a leaf spring setup. So I mean, I guess like there is going to be a difference if you tilt them back or not, but not as drastic.
Yeah. Which, speaking of leaf springs, I've got my metal matcher here that I keep tearing apart to send parts to people. But I've made the decision to go back to leaf springs in the rear, so these links are going to come off. I've got the rear chassis brace with the leaf mounts on it already in there. So I just need the front perches, the front side, the rear, whatever, the front of the rear leaf springs. And then I need to do some kind of an interior because it doesn't have anything. But I want to finish this build.
Yeah, you waited a good while on it, and then now it's waiting on you.
Yeah. Is the Leaf set up for comp purpose or just for fun? Mostly just for fun. They do perform really well, though, for being 1802 technology.
Yeah. This particular one should probably be the, I'm gonna call it like the Leafer cheat code. Like I thought the mullet was gonna be good, but it still did kind of have like that big high-low belly hanging down.
Yeah.
So this will be a definite upgrade for that.
For sure. Leaf Springs by Harley.
Yeah, does it say when he leaves the chat?
I saw the viewer count go down by one.
yeah. Actually, is that a thumbs down I see now too?
Yeah. So I've been cutting tubes and notching tubes and building this Colorado Adventure Club tube chassis. I need to get moving back on this, but I've got all the straight tubes cut. There's a bunch of tubes on the tube fixture jigs here. I've got all of my bent tubes bent. They're over there on the bench. But I've started notching all the tubes. The rear bumper he had designed as like a 3 or 4 piece bumper. I bent up a single bend rear bumper or a 2 bend rear bumper. I just have to cut it to length and get it notched in there nice. So I've been kind of working on this after hours.
Sure.
Screwing around after hours a little bit and before hours. So, I get to the shop at about 7:30 in the morning and I don't open till 9. So I've got a little bit of time in the morning to gather my thoughts and notch tubes.
Yeah. Oh, I called you earlier saying that I had a part stop printing 8 minutes before it was done. When I got home, I looked at my printer, which is also on the same like plug as the printer, and it was reset flashing. So at some point, we must have had like a
power outage or something.
Too many people charging their cars or whatever.
Yeah. This morning, my computer. So what was I trying to do? Oh, I was trying to open up my vinyl program, and it wouldn't open the rip software wouldn't open. And so I was like, all right, whatever. But like a month ago, I went to print some stuff. I had typed out code for a link. I typed it all out on the computer, and I was just going to print that page and take it over to the machine to type it in so I wouldn't miss stuff. So, but anyway, I went to restart my computer, and of course it wanted to update. So it started doing the update, and then it said like 0% for like 15 minutes. I'm like, great, this is an awesome start to the morning. This computer's going to take forever to update. And then all of a sudden my printer started, my like regular, paper printer started printing
Like the
multiple copies. Yeah, like I had tried to print that document like 4 times and it never printed. I'm like, oh cool, my printer broke, whatever. And then I just took a picture of my screen with my phone and went over to the machine. Well, it fucking printed 10 copies of the paper while the computer was downloading an update. Like it was completely off. The printer just started working. I'm like, that's interesting.
Aliens, dude. It's gotta be
Yeah.
aliens.
Yeah, it's got to be aliens. You just made Cody's day, maybe. You should try the aluminum foil trick between the tube and fixture. The jig just falls off when done. So one thing about this particular fixture that I like, compared to the Jimmy's buggy build, is that where the tubes come together, there's not a bunch of fixture behind it. On the Jimmy's build, Josh basically took like a ball shape, like a half of a ball shape out of the fixturing. So there was an air gap behind it, but there was still fixture plastic back there. So when you went to weld it, or like I torch brazed mine, it melted a bunch of the fixtures. Some of the guys are using aluminum foil or aluminum tape to protect the fixtures. I don't think I'm going to have that issue with this. I'm going to torch braze this, and I don't think I'm going to have that issue because there's not a bunch of material right behind all the joints. So that is one thing about this fixture design that I do like. Just got your first version a few months ago. Gone to Portals to make the body fit. Looking forward to this one. Postal Strike in Canada already figured out. I was gonna check on that and see if the Postal Strike thing was handled or not. So when printing parts, PLA for SCX6 plow I designed, I had parts stick so good that they took glass with them when I removed them from the bed. You had the heat set on that sucker. I've seen a couple brazed on that
cool
jig.
Down, dude.
Yeah, you're not supposed to drop the bed on the floor to get the part off.
Yeah.
So one thing about the textured PEI plate on the Bamboo with regular PLA or PLA CF, if you let the part cool off, like if you print something overnight and it's done and you get up in the morning, they're released off the bed. It just slide them off of there. When it's hot, if it's still hot, you have to flex the bed and they pop right off.
I take the plate out. Yep.
Yeah. I had a magnetic plate on my ender, and there was a couple of times where regular PLA embedded into that flexible magnetic mat, and I tore a little bit trying to get the plastic off. But also I was, very impatient with it, and
as soon as it beeps, it's done. You're like,
yeah, I've been waiting 72 hours for this little thing.
For this dragon slinky I'm printing off for the boy.
Yeah. I started printing Benchy in 1864, and it's finally done.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Whatever. It was even cool to put it in the freezer with no luck. Wow.
Microwave.
Yeah. Brett has man strength. Has He-Man strength? Yeah. Actually, it was. I think it was one of these sliders. So you can tell the it looks kind of gray. That's part of the print bed.
Perfect.
This was not printed. This was not printed on the Bamboo. This was printed on the Ender, like a year ago. Will the public be able to buy the Sever? Yes, 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 yes. Not today, but yes. Somebody asked on the fan page earlier when we were going to release it.
Hmm.
I don't think we've decided that yet, but soon.
Yeah, I'd like to get like pre-orders or something going by the first of the year. Or the orders like
I'd like to have them shipping first of the year.
yeah.
Yep. Theron, I'm needing the final version of the C1 Sever. How soon can I get it in carbon? Wesley sent me the files for those last Friday, I think.
Yes.
So I have the files for those, and I got carbon today. So I should be able to get those done soon. I've got a bunch of chassis to cut tomorrow, but after that, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Got the plow finished, just waiting for the snow to try it out. Well, we had snow here until today. It's gone now.
Just like that, huh?
Well, so it snowed last Monday while we were on the stream. They said we were supposed to get like 4 to 6 inches. We got like 3/4 of an inch. And then Wednesday, we got like 3 or 4 inches of snow. And then Friday, we got another 3 or 4 inches of snow. And now it's gone.
So mezcal. At least that's how I'm gonna pronounce it, because that sounds fun and delicious. The C1 Sever looks pretty much like the C2,
Yep.
except for flat belly.
It's horizontal, parallel to the ground skid plate.
Yeah, and then
But the sliders are still kind of angled, so it still looks aggressive.
Yeah. But yeah,
But it
basically,
is flat skid. Good old Indiana weather. Good old Indiana weather. If you want to know the weather, just look outside. Weather people are never right. That is 100% accurate around here. They are wrong 99% of the time.
Dude, I think a lot of those people got fired and they moved to Austin because Austin weather's not accurate either.
Yeah.
It's gonna
sliders
doesn't rain. It's not gonna rain. It rains.
Yeah. Do the sliders fit the extra cabin 4Runner as a bolt-on example using the screw holes on the side of the body? Yes.
Yep.
We suggest using set screws in the slider, and then you just kind of flex the body out over the set screws. Then you don't have to use a nut on the outside, and you don't have to thread the body on and off every time. You're not wearing out the sliders or anything like that.
I've had the 4Runner for a good bit, but that's the nylon, the laser-centered nylon print. Another plus to you having the file is if you do wear out the screw holes, print another one. That's kind of an advantage. Also, I was going to suggest, so I have the holes at 2.5 mil. So hardware usually can make a thread, but ideally you would take a tap and tap that, like an M3.
Yeah.
If you have the means. I can also send you a link to put on the site, Brad, for that tab, because I have that nice like spiral fluted one that ejects.
I buy the Amazon ones. They work great.
So I use like the machine ones with the straight flutes. They get clogged up, so I bought that spiral one, and those are nice, and they're like $12 for 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
I could probably
Um,
text you a link to that, or if you have one, and then put it in
yeah,
the.
I can just throw it on there. The four-door Mojave body, is that the same bolt pattern as the Forerunner?
No. So, I'm waiting for confirmation, but supposedly it's the same as the extra cab.
Okay.
I gotta wait for Tim Thompson to get me measurements, but from what I
Oh, that's right.
hear,
He's got his, yeah.
from what I hear, it's the same as the extra cab, and I'd assume the front wheel arches are in the same spot, but I hate to assume. If they don't turn out to be, if that doesn't turn out to be this like true, I'll sketch one up and we'll throw that file on too. Um,
Yeah.
because I would like to actually get one of those bodies. I keep forgetting they exist. I don't see them that often, and then when I do see
Yeah.
one, I'm like, yes, I I need that.
Aren't they all the same bolt pattern? No, they're all fucking different.
No, so yeah, even
Like,
so, don't isn't there a problem with the old Mojave and the new Mojave? I think there's like
no,
1 mil
the
or something
the RC four-wheel drive Hilux body
is
and
different from
and
the.
the Mojave and the Hilux bodies are like a millimeter and a half different.
Yeah, so you oblong both of the body novels.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were having that
Um,
problem, and I think that was when I just released the actually I think it was the ATL one on I think uh, Shapeways, and then right
yeah.
off the hit, someone had a problem with it. And I was like, oh no, dude, I'm gonna be like reimbursing people, and then come to find out it's when they got the licensing, they
So I
changed
made a
the brand.
note. I made a note in the C1 Pro Hilux slider description that to mount a Mojave or Hilux body, but these two bodies vary a minor amount in hole placement, so you may need to enlarge the holes in the body. So that's all you do is you just take the 3 millimeter hole in the body and make it 4 millimeters.
Yeah, it's such a minute thing. It's just annoying that they just like we're gonna keep rolling with this, even though we changed it ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Checkered. Would you just need the hole spacing between center to center on the holes, Wes? Is that all you need?
Um, Checker DM me. But yeah, ideally, yeah, I just need center to center body, and then if I could, I would like to. I don't know. I gotta reference the wheel arch, but I think it would be the same as the regular Hilux because the wheel arches are the same unless they like made the hood longer or something weird. I don't know.
Should be fine. RC Fabricator and Todd both said audio is fading in and out or dropping, but Cody says it's been fine. So I
I
don't know.
gotta
I moved my
refresh screen on mine for a minute, so I don't
oh,
know.
okay. I moved my mic just in case it was my mic. I guess let us know. Extra cab and four door is the same, but the rear wheel arch
This is gonna be
isn't.
different.
Yeah,
As long as
it's the center line. The center line from the front of the front wheel arch center line to the front hole body mount hole is the critical dimension, so that your front wheels stay lined up in the hole,
yeah,
and then the rear just kind of is what it is.
yeah, yeah. If somebody knows for sure, DM us. It'd probably take me a couple afternoons to create a whole new slider. Although now at this point, I did all 5 of these last week because each one had to be altered slightly. So I actually redid the Hilo one completely, as
Yeah,
well as the Forerunner. The only ones I recycled was the OG ATL and the C1 Pro. But like I said, I had to change up the whole dimensions. So
yeah.
I didn't completely start from scratch in those two. But yeah, I'm well versed in sliders, so if you got dimensions, let me know now so I can just hammer them out. I'll keep on this.
Yeah. RC Fabricator, yes, that is the chassis I'm working on now. Anyway, we're right at 9 o'clock here now. It's Wesley's birthday. I'm sure he wants to celebrate with his dog in his living room.
Yeah, Monday night birthday celebration. I don't know how rowdy that's gonna get.
I don't remember what day of the week my birthday was on this year. It was a Friday. I must have been super lame because I didn't do shit on my birthday.
Or it was really good if you don't remember.
No, I know I didn't do anything. Cody, thanks for the email with the files. So anyway, yes, happy birthday, Wesley. Next Monday we should be good again. Hopefully I'll have some link updates by then. I've got a fairly busy week this week. I've got 2 Polaris engines I'm working on and 2 motorcycles I'm working on for the same guy. Both the motorcycles are pretty cool though. I've got a spotless mint original Honda RC51 in here and a spotless mint original except mufflers ZX12 Kawasaki ZX12 in here too for the same guy. This guy buys the cleanest original bikes he can find, and he's building himself a little motorcycle museum in his barn. So he has me. Yeah, he has me service them, change the engine oil, and then he wants every fluid removed from them. No brake fluid in anything, no fuel in anything. Pull the injectors, clean the injectors, pull fuel lines, clean the fuel lines. I don't want any fuel in it. I'm like, okay. And it just goes in a climate-controlled man cave barn.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. RC Garage Guy Customs, thank you, sir, for Wesley. Cheap shot on me.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, let's get out of here for the night, and we'll be back for another one next Monday.
See y'all.
Thanks, everybody, for hanging out.
Later.
Later.